am going to make a Skyrim clone because I'm insane and I really want to. Here's the deal, Skyrim was a huge game for me. I loved the open world, I loved the greenery, I loved the scenery, I loved killing dragons and Draugr and all those other crazy things. I put thousands of hours into Skyrim and watched way too much Fudge Muppet and Epic Nate. That's the truth of it. And I want to make a game like it. I'm going to make a clone of it. Is it going to be exactly the same? No. But it will be close enough where you can tell what inspired it, hence me using the word clone. And the thing is, I just feel like Bethesda's been taking too long. Obviously, they got other things to do, like Fallout, Doom, StarCraft now, which I'm super excited for StarCraft. Don't get me wrong. I just need more Skyrim. So, what's the difference? For my game, despite a lot of the gameplay mechanics that are going to be similar, the story is going to be completely different. I've been working on my own RPG world forever now. I even want to do a Dungeons and Dragons campaign if I ever learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons. Pretty much, you're in my world. I haven't named it yet. But what's going on right now is that you wake up and you're in a grave. You're in a mass grave and you freak out. You get up, you see the guy that's burying you alive, and you get mad at him. You're like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, calm down. You've been dead for a while now. Obviously, that confuses you. So in my world, what had happened was Olgivorn, Keeper of the Dead, has ironically been killed. So a bunch of people throughout time are coming back from the dead, not as zombies, not as vampires, not as some undead creature. They are fully just coming back. The dead are no longer being held captive. Now, this is being fixed by the deities in my world. They are working on it. So that's not a problem for you. You've been dead for about 300 years. But what is a problem is the cult that worships Gaul, the god of death and the undead. Pretty much, his worshippers feel that everybody that comes back to life has cheated Gaul, and that they need to be punished and sent back to the void, which is where the dead go, or wherever you did go. There are different places to go in my world. And if they succeed, you and everybody else that has just come back will be gone again. And that's the world that you're in. That's the overall plot. What's the setting? It's an easy setting, since this is going to be the first big RPG that we make. By we, I mean me. Hopefully, I can be able to hire more people within the time frame that I'm going to be working on this, which I'll get to in a second. But it's going to be stereotypical medieval Germanic stuff. There are other countries with more interesting characters, like Valderin, which has the Sylvians, which is the closest thing we have to elves in our game. Essentially, they're born as humanoid-looking elves that are greenish color, but as they get older, they grow bark. And eventually, when they're about to die, they're almost completely a tree. They spend the last 10 years of their life planted and rooted down. So when they die, they become a part of the Elder Forest. So that's like the closest thing I have to any fantastical humanoid creature that you've heard of. Unless, you come up with other things like that. Obviously, Dungeons and Dragons has covered any form of humanoid that's ever possible. Not really, but if you read through some of them, you get what I mean. Some other unique kind of characters that you can play as are Venarins. Venarins are gorilla people, or apes. They're gorilla apes. No monkeys, they're gorilla apes. Inspired by Planet of the Apes. They were made intelligent when a meteor crash landed onto my planet in their home nation, where a lot of them were, and made them intelligent. They continue to worship the rock as if it's a god, but it's not. And other than that, they're hyper-intelligent and very dangerous people, and known for slaving. Other races that are interesting, you have shark people, I got spider people, and I got these other people with split skin. So essentially parts of their skin where you can visibly see the muscle, and it's like a clear thing. Anyway, these are the different characters I'm going to put in my world that you will be able to play as. Speaking of being able to play as, this game is going to take me 5 years to make. Probably still come here before the next Elder Scrolls game, but it's going to be a long time. Why is it going to take so long? Because video games are hard to make, and I'm doing this mostly by myself. Why is it going to take longer? Because I'm only doing some of it by myself. All the writing, I'm going to be doing, and creating the playable characters, I'm going to be doing, and mid-level design and quest creation, I will be doing. However, outside of that, I am outsourcing everything. Because I'm setting it in the medieval time, the reason I did that is so, for the most part, I can just use props that already exist and just cough up a little bit of money for it. And then for a lot of the characters, there's giant ants, there's giant rats, there's giant spiders. I can find those on the internet and I can just use those. What are the assets that I'm going to use? I'm definitely going to use Pixel Crusher's dialogue system. Probably going to use their generating quest system. I'm going to use a ton of different medieval fantasy assets, and then I'm going to have to make a couple of my own just so I can make some of the unique locations like High Spire, which is the capital of the country that you'll be playing in, which is the country of Rissamore. And that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 5 years. What's the point of this video? To keep me honest. I got to keep you guys updated. That way I keep working on it. This has been a dream of mine. I've written so much lore for it already, and it's time to get an engine and actually just start working on it. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing.